Hey guys, this video is going to cover two different techniques you can use to greatly improve your aim in any games, especially shooters. The first one involves actually fiddling with the game settings, but the second one is something you can try when you're actually holding the physical controller, but we'll get into that in a second. So your aim can be greatly improved by modifying the sensitivity within the game settings. Every well-known shooter will have a feature that allows you to do this, and other games can too. When it comes to Call of Duty games, 9 out of 10 times I play on max sensitivity. When I tell people this, or they see me do it, they often ask me how do I actually play on that high of a sensitivity. Have you ever played on maximum sensitivity? It's not very hard to do at all, maybe just because I've done this technique. But for me, being able to turn quicker makes me play better because I can spin around really quick if I'm getting hit in the back and kill someone before, even if they've shot at me first. To be able to play on high sensitivities, I went about it a specific way. Instead of jumping straight from a low setting right up to a max, or whatever you want, it's best to move up in small amounts. What I mean is, say you start at 4 sensitivity. That's your normal, that's what you play at normally. And the max setting is 20. Put it up to 6 and play, say, for a few hours or maybe even a day. Just keep playing on that setting until you're completely comfortable and it feels normal. You'll find that you have taught your hands to make more precise movements, and it's just easy to play like that now. It's actually pretty cool. From there, put it up another small amount. From the example, if you had it on 6 now, put it up to 8 and do the same thing. Keep playing with that setting until it feels normal. Do that for a few days or hours, depending on how much you play, and before you know it, you won't be able to move the setting up any higher because you'll be at maximum. Some people say that they play better on low sensitivities, and you might too. So by playing with a heap of them, you will be able to properly find out. But for me though, higher sensitivities are better. Now to the second thing you can do. Once you are happy with the movement settings within the game, you can try and hold the controller a little bit differently, just like I do. For anyone that's played PS3, you'll know that the top two buttons, R1 and L1, used to be aim and shoot because it was hard to reach the bottom ones. The PS3 controls were a little bit different, and reaching these was a bit harder. But with the PlayStation 4, at the release, just like the Xbox, the back two buttons were aim and shoot. On the first day I got my PS4, I tried out COD, and noticed that sometimes I didn't actually fire my weapon, or if I did, it was a delay. So I was just really bad. Now this has nothing to do with the system or the controller, it's just that as you can see, the back buttons are a proper trigger. You don't just press them in and out, they actually bend all the way down and actually gives you, for like racing games, that can be your throttle, depending on how much throttle you want on. So the problem for me is that it didn't register until about halfway. If you notice, play Call of Duty or whatever game, go into a private match and sit there and pull it in, and you'll notice it doesn't shoot until about around halfway. So if I had a burst gun, I'd run around the corner, see a guy, scope in, tap, get ready for the next burst, but the first one didn't actually fire, and then he would turn around and just destroy me. To fix this problem of not being able to shoot, because I wasn't used to it, I've never played off Xbox before, came straight from PlayStation 3, I went into the Call of Duty settings. You do have to go to settings actually for this. Go to options, controller layout, or one of them, and change it until these two swap. So just like the PlayStation 3 controller, you want shoot to be L1, fire to be scope to be L1, and shoot to be R1. Now, some people may not like it, but for me, as soon as I changed it back to that, I felt so much more comfortable. I think the reason why it helps is because when the bottom two is shoot, your hand is kind of, I guess it kind of leans forward a bit. But if the top one's a shoot, for me personally, I bring my hands up a little bit, just a little bit, and the wrist twist it a little bit more, and it makes it easier for me to aim as well. So that's what I mean by physically holding a controller. All you really do is change the settings to these ones, and your hand will adjust to make, because you're always using the top buttons the most, to make it easier for yourself to click them. Your wrist will just automatically curve up a bit. May feel a little bit odd at the start because you're not used to holding it exactly like that, But try it out anyway. So test these out for about an hour so you get comfortable and then see how you go. Try not to be trying to hold the controller differently and shoot up here and changing the in-game settings, because that would make it super difficult and you'll most likely end up getting mad and turning it off. Hopefully this helps some of you out and makes you better at aiming. See you next time, mates.